Hi guys, welcome to our show. I am Gina Scafolio.
And I'm Allison Vaeth.
We are both IFBB Bikini Pros, and today, this is number 8,
Yeah.
episode 8, and we're going to be talking about spray tans. So, I mean, the first reason you really need a tan is, like, to see your muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so many people ask, like, why do you need a tan? So, just want to, like, clarify that real quick so you can see your muscles. If you're, like, really pale, you can't see shit.
So, with all that being said, I think that we should talk a little bit about, like, the prep for tanning, like before you get a spray tan or before you compete, like what should you do first?
So, I mean, this part is totally up to you, whether you want to be safe and not damage your skin or whether you just don't care if you already tan. But having a base tan can definitely help. Not only just like prep your skin and like, you know, the texture of it, but also just like the color. So I tan in a bed or like outside probably like 3 months leading up to a show. I'm not definitely not condoning that, but if you already tan, maybe just like time it to where it's, you know, the months leading up to your show.
Yeah, and there's like, you know, different protocol for different people. Like obviously we have different skin tones, and you know, like for me, like I lay out a few times and I instantly turn pretty dark. Like, you know, Gina on the other hand would have to do like, you know, 20-minute intervals like a few times a week to start gaining that darker skin tone.
It takes me forever. It's honestly so discouraging. Like I'll try to tan for like a month and I'm like, did I change colors at all?
Yeah, like has anything happened?
Yeah.
So there's other things that you can do to prep your skin. Now this, I would say about 1 month to 3 months out, you want to just start thinking about simple things like, are you going to start waxing to have less hair down there? Are you going to start exfoliating more to just make your skin a little bit more vibrant and soft? Guys.
Henry.
Go lay down. I know you're playing, but it's not the right time.
I think he's raping him.
Oh. Well, I know you're raping him, but it's not the right time right now. You come here.
So you're saying the texture or something?
Yeah, you just want to set your skin up for
success.
Yeah. So leading a little bit closer to a show day, there are a few things that you have to do, maybe like the week of, that are super duper important. And that comes down to like the products that you're going to be using on a daily basis and like just like all the prep that you do. So do you want to lead them through like what you would normally do to prep your skin for competition tans?
So I'll try to like not ramble, but you know, 3 months out I start tanning outside in a bed if I have to. And I start waxing downstairs about 3 months out. You know, if you're blonde or you have thin hairs, like you can shave. It's really not a big deal. Or like just wax that week if you don't really have sensitive skin. But I'm Italian and not blessed with good hair genetics. So
yeah, I prefer to wax too.
Yeah, me too. And like, so I have thick, dark hair and I also have sensitive skin. So I really have to prep like my bikini line, or else like the spray tan will actually stick to, like if you have like razor bumps, it actually like the tan turns them like black basically, so it looks like you have a little bunch of black spots around your bikini line.
Yeah, and then if you have like the type of like skin follicles that do that on your legs too, which some girls do,
like the pores,
you're gonna have to start doing things to pore minimizing creams and start waxing, and you know, there's a lot of thought that goes into having nice skin for show day.
Yeah, and you have to remember too, it's like these things, the judges aren't going to see the details necessarily, but they might be in your stage shots, and you also want to take photos like all day long. So you always have to remember, like, it's not going to affect your placing necessarily if you have like little bitty dots like around your bikini line or like on your legs. But if you want to do like photo shoots, or like if you have a really good photographer and a like really good stage, like you'll be able to see those details. And like another thing too is, you know, there are a few shows that, or a lot of shows actually, that have side photographers, like they'll be on the side of the stage, and I've seen it to where like I can actually see the peach fuzz on either a girl's butt or her face. So like, so waxing, start out, you know, tanning, waxing, whatever, and then about 3 weeks out, that's when I start exfoliating like every other day, and then about a week out or 10 days, I start exfoliating every single day. And it's not like I mean, I do scrub the shit out of my skin, but I also like, I put moisturizer on, so it's still, you know, like nourished. Or
so what kind of moisturizers would you recommend then for that week of? Because some of them are not good to use, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's hard because like I use Cetaphil, which is like it's like one of the thickest.
Fragrance free and no added like weird chemicals. So I think that would be a good one.
That's what I use, but then the week of the show, like the first couple days I'll use it, but then the next few days I try not to use anything.
Yeah.
Your skin gets like pretty damn dry.
Yeah. But that's good. Like you want the pH of your skin to be chill. Like you don't want it to have a bunch of different oils and lotions on it, and you do need it dry because it's about to absorb some nice brown chemicals.
Yeah. And then another thing is like your pH. So Protan has a pH balancer, but if for some reason you don't want to use a pH balancer, you need to make sure that your body wash has a pH balancer. So
this is the Get Buffed exfoliating cream that they have. So it's an exfoliator and it helps with the pH balance, so you don't have to worry too much about if what you're using is wrong. Another popular one that I use is like the apricot scrub from like Great Value or the
that's what I was gonna say is like
whatever.
This is really good for your pH, but the exfoliator is like nothing. Like there's a few beads in there. It really doesn't exfoliate your skin that well. It's like more of a gentle exfoliator. So that I'll use peak week, or like the last few days of peak week.
Like my shower before, the one or two before.
Yeah, but then like all the weeks leading up to that, I use like an actual, like I'll go to Walmart and buy it's like, I don't know, $7 or something. But yeah, the stuff that like kind of hurts.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about like the products that I use and the method that I take, and then Gina's going to talk a little bit about hers because we both do separate things, and like it depends on a lot of factors. Now, I like to use Protan, and I pretty much tan myself, and then I have my coach Sarah usually do my like last couple top coats because she has the eye and make sure everything looks good, and plus it's hard to actually put on that top coat. You can put on base coats, but you almost need help. So like my boyfriend, he's like a professional tanner by now. He's tanned me a lot of times, and so I like to use Protan products. So kind of how I do my thing is like I do the same as her with like tanning, exfoliation leading up to it, waxing, and then about a couple days out I make it my like final shower. So if my show's on Saturday for most NPC people, on Thursday I take my final shower, which really just means is I make sure everything's waxed maybe a couple days before, then I reshape my whole body. I shave off all the hair.
Everything.
Yeah. Back, butt, arms, chest, like my whole body's shaved. And you can buy like the Nair if you have thin skin, but if you have thick skin, thick hair, it's not gonna come off.
Justin, like my fiance, uses Nair on his whole body and it works for him, but me, like I have to leave it on so long that I'm like burned. Like it will be like a burn on my whole body.
Yeah,
so
and you don't want that.
Yeah.
So you can do something like shave off everything, and then now how I do mine with, if I don't have the pH balancer, because before I use this, I actually use baking soda and Epsom salt.
Baking soda, I got baking
soda. And if you just put all that in like there's a baking powder. Which one's the bigger bag?
I think powder.
Okay, baking powder.
Baking soda is like the little.
Okay, baking powder. I use baking powder, not baking soda. Scratch that. Okay, so I do baking powder and Epsom salt, like about a cup each, and I put it in a really hot tub and I just lay in it for like 20-30 minutes.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that.
And it like will neutralize like your pH. So then what I do is I get my exfoliator and I just like scrub the shit out of my skin and keep laying in the bath. And then now that like I'm naked with no hair and I have like pretty much burnt skin from scrubbing so hard, now I can just rinse off, make sure my hair is done, and get out of the shower, and I just let myself naturally dry. You cannot put on any deodorant now. You cannot put on any lotion.
No, nothing. No perfume.
Yeah, like literally your skin is going to be so dry. You're going to be like, ah.
Yeah.
And so now what I do is I use all the Protan products. Now this is the one that you're going to want for your first coat. It's going to be the Protan Overnight Competition Color Base Coat. And pretty much how I do this is, or my boyfriend, we get one of these little you know,
yeah.
guys.
You can get off Amazon too, or like the Protan site.
Yeah, it's pretty much all this is a car buffer. Yeah. So you can get one of these from the store. And this is like the getaway.
You want gloves.
Like, yeah, you need gloves.
Want gloves, by the way.
Definitely need gloves. And when you get gloves, you can just buy like the little plastic ones. And then there's also these mitts from Protan, which are easy to use, but they don't apply a very deep color. Like this is like, you know, you put a layer on, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
So you put this on once, then you let it dry for about 15 minutes. When you're not sticky, you put on another coat. My boyfriend does this for me. And then I wait. And then I usually put on a second round. So I put on another coat. And then I'm like, okay, I feel fine. Like I'm dark and it's even. I sleep in it. I wake up. I rinse it off. And then I immediately put on another coat, maybe 2. And then later that night, I normally will just reapply another coat, depending on how dark I am. And then this is your top coat.
Do you rinse again or no?
No.
So I just keep that one time? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I keep applying more and more. And so now that I'm to the nighttime and it's before my show, I know that I'm going to be really careful when I pee. I'm not leaving my hotel room. I'm done eating already. I put on this the Physique Bronze top coat, and this stuff comes off on anything. Like it's like if water drops on you, you just melt. So you're going to have to be super, super careful. And you put one of these on at night, and then in the morning, if you mess anything up or if you feel like you're just not dark enough still, you put on another layer. And I almost always put on another layer. Yeah. And if I don't use this as my top layer, I use Jantana. And that they both have different colors. But I think Protan on my skin works really well. So if you have like olive skin like I do, or you're naturally a little bit darker, Protan's like a really good option. And then after that, I usually just rinse off and half my tan comes off. But I'm still really
dark, yeah.
So that's how the Protan process works. It's pretty easy.
My process is very different. So the self tanners, you know, take into consideration she puts on 6 to 10 coats.
Yeah. And
she's really, really tan to begin with. Not really, really tan, but in comparison to someone that's like as pale as me. So Protan, like their spray is awesome, but that Allie does is not dark enough for me. I could put on maybe 15 to 20 coats and it would be dark enough, but by that time it's just like layering and layering and layering.
Yeah, it doesn't rub in right anymore.
Yeah, so like that's not really an option for me unless I were to like really tan, but I don't know. It's just like it doesn't work. So I always go with like the official company that's tanning at the show. So I've had, it's a Liquid Sun Rays Hot Spot. That one, like honestly, the color is like really, really great on me. The people aren't very nice, to be honest. They're very rude. All the employees, but the tan comes out nice. So you just have to like go in there with that mindset, like, all right, everyone's gonna be a bitch, but my tan's gonna turn out good.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But I've had some issues where like I accidentally made a spot. And I went back, I was like, oh my God, like I just messed this up. And it was right after my appointment. So I'm like, all they have to do is like buff it out. And they like yelled at me. They're like, what the fuck did you do?
So
like,
that's also kind of the cool thing about doing your own.
Yeah,
is you can bring your own mitt and fix any mark.
Yeah.
From peeing, water,
Henry,
drool.
come here. Come here. Come here. Okay. Oh, you want to come too?
Hi.
Sorry.
You're fine. But yeah, so like there are pros and cons of like having it. Like I would say one of the pros for having it done is like you have nothing to really worry about. You set your appointments and they're there and they're backstage, so they can usually fix everything. Most of the companies are pretty nice, but as you were saying, like some of them aren't. And some of the colors just don't look as good. If you're doing smaller shows, do some research on what that color looks like, because it might be more beneficial to spend $50 and buy your own product than get it done for like 5 times the price and be like, whoa, what just happened to my body?
And like everyone's like skin tone, it like works differently with the different, and it's not gonna be like too much of a difference, but you will notice like with experience, like, all right, this one looks a little bit better on me. So Protan was at USA's, and that was like, I mean, day one I actually used Jantana, like my coach at the time did it on me, and I don't know if it was Jantana mixed with my skin's pH, or like my pH was just way off for some reason. I'm not really sure because I had done 3 spray tans in the past and I did the same exact prep. But for some reason it could have been something I was eating, or it could just been like my skin and Jantana. I don't know. But I turned green, and like that's why we keep saying like your skin pH has to be like neutral. Don't use deodorants. Don't use perfumes.
All this matters. Like
all of this
actually matters.
What happens is this. Like I don't know if you guys can see. On it? Like this is because the bottle's pH is off.
Yeah.
But honestly,
no, it's because there's too many things touching it all the time. Yeah, it is. The pH turns it.
Yeah, and so like day 1 of USA's, I was literally the Hulk, and it's funny because like I've actually heard some podcast where I think it was like not Team Pro.
Paul Revere.
Paul Revere. Like I was on his podcast. They were like, there was this girl. She was literally green on stage, and she still won. I was like, I think they're talking about me. But we'll link a picture so you guys can see how green I was. But
yeah, and also this is huge on how they point system you. Like I got docked a couple of my shows for not being dark enough when I first started competing, and I didn't realize how dark you had to be. So if you're tanning yourself, dude, don't think that I'm exaggerating on the layers.
On how many?
I am not exaggerating.
You need to be like uncomfortably dark. Like people should stop and like double take if you're walking down the street.
Yeah,
like,
when I was walking down the street.
Moving down the street in my 6'4". Moving down the street in my 6'4". Moving down the street in my 6'4".
In Vegas, like I had like multiple men ask me what nationality I was. They were like, you look black, but you don't look black. What are you? And I'm like, this is not real.
Yeah.
So you're that dark.
That's pretty accurate. But so day 1, I ended up green, and we had to like completely wash it off, scrub it off, and then Pro-Tan fixed it. And Pro-Tan's color on me was like the best ever. And the employees were so nice. Like everyone was so sweet. I messed it up a couple times and they were like happy to help me. So honestly, like, you know, if Liquid Sunrise Hotspot is there, like you could definitely go with them if they're the official company. But if Pro-Tan is an option, like that's my recommendation is go with Pro-Tan because they're really nice. The color comes out really nice for the majority of people.
So sweet backstage. Show day tanning is no joke, and you just have to make sure you're dark enough. You have to make sure your pH is on right.
And like taking care of it too.
Yeah.
We didn't cover that.
Oh yeah.
So like, you know, Allie does her own tan. Like, you know, the night before show, she has to be careful. Same thing, like if you get your tan done like by the company where they're actually like spraying you, it's actually a lot wetter. So what she does, like it absorbs in your skin, and it's almost like, I don't know.
It's like you're standing wood.
Yeah, it doesn't like you can go like this and it like doesn't feel like it will mess up.
No.
But when you get it done with spray, it's like sticky almost.
And
like
you have to be aware that you're gonna be standing in a room like practically naked.
Oh yeah.
With a bunch of random people you've never seen.
About 15 people will see you naked. So like because the tan is so sticky, you have to like, well, when you're wearing all dark clothes, it needs to be cotton. I've heard of people doing silk pajamas or like silk sheets and stuff. I'm like, when you sweat, it's just gonna smear around. Yeah. You need cotton to absorb any kind of like water or sweat. So
I have black cotton sheets that I put on the bed. And then what I do is I put 3 pillows, I put the big sheet over it, I put my feet up on the sheet or on the pillows. And I'm literally covered head to toe in cotton. I have a cotton long sleeve shirt on, I have cotton long sleeve pants on. Sometimes I'll put cotton socks on, and then I don't move. I lay like a zombie. I'm just like, all right, this is how I'm gonna fall asleep. Like, you know?
Yeah, that's another thing. I always try to lay on my back, even if I'm not a back sleeper. Like, or if you're not a back sleeper, try to like, just find a position where your tan's not gonna mess up. Always do long sleeve because you do short sleeve and then you accidentally go like this in your sleep, you're gonna have handprints.
And you can't sweat, so you have to keep it cold.
Keep the room super cold. I sleep with like a very thin sheet.
Me too.
You need to bring your own sheets because the hotels will charge you. Whether it comes off or not, they'll still charge you. So bring your own sheets, bring your own towels, bring your own hand towels. Just be very, very conscious. When you sit on the toilet, either put toilet paper on the rim or squat. I try my best to squat. And then another thing that you might have heard of is the Dixie cups. So you'll get tiny little cups like the Dixie cups, and you'll take scissors or a knife and you'll poke the whole bottom out. you don't want to poke just a single hole because then it might splash you when you're
Yeah.
peeing through it. Cut the whole bottom out,
Yep.
and then you're gonna hold it where your pee hole is, and you're gonna pee through it.
You just
And
get
the
a
reason-
squatty potty.
Yeah, and like guys are gonna be really confused about this part, but girls, you know, like sometimes your stream goes down your leg, or
Yeah.
just like it drips somewhere,
On your
like,
butt cheek.
on your butt cheek, whatever, or the toilet. It like be careful with automatic flushing toilets.
Oh my gosh.
Especially
yeah.
like at the venue, sometimes they're automatic flushes, so you want to like as soon as you pee and you hear it start to flush, you want to stand the fuck up.
Yeah, you jump away.
And I have like toilet paper in hand. I'll have the Dixie cup in one hand. I'll have toilet paper already ready. So if the flusher starts flushing, I'll like hurry up, wipe, stand up, and like get out.
You have to be so careful.
Yeah.
Because like as she was saying, some of the people who work back there get really angry, and like to not have to deal with that is probably.
Well, also
Right.
sometimes it's like impossible to fix if it's already dried.
Yeah.
If it's wet, it's fixable. If it's dried, not always. So like.
Yeah.
You guys can look at my stage shots. Literally every single show, my ass has been fucked up because my thing is like I sweat really easy, and so like I'll be sitting down like this, like I'll just be sitting, even if in my cotton pants and my robe, whatever. And if I sweat, then there's like 2 little spots where like my butt bones are.
Yeah.
Because like you have to remember you have no fat on your butt either.
Yeah, you have to be so careful about how you're sitting.
How you're sitting.
Like, I prefer to keep all my clothes on until like I know I'm getting closer.
Yeah.
Then I'll take things off, but I try not to put pressure on any parts of my body. Like I feel like I'm standing half the time. Anyway.
Yeah.
Like I'm just.
I try to stand even though it's bad. Or another thing you can do is like once you get to the venue, always bring like either a blanket or a towel because you're gonna be backstage hours.
Yeah.
So I always get to the venue like you know you have to do your meeting or whatever. I show up ready. I'll actually be in my sweats still. I don't put on my robe until like a couple hours before, if that. But I'll take a towel, I'll roll it out, I'll find a chair, and I'll lay on my back and put my feet up on the chair.
Yeah.
And that's how I like chill before. Because
really
that way,
nice.
like, all the pressure's on your back, and your hair should be long enough to cover your back for the most part, or like most people. But really, like, my back is never messed up. So
Yeah.
you can lay on your back, no pressure's on your ass, and
That's
you
usually
get to
what I
relax.
do too. I get to lay back and
Mhm.
relax. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's most of the stuff that comes with like competition tan and preparation. It is a lot, and once again, like competing isn't the easiest thing to do, and it takes a lot of preparation. And this is just one of the things that give yourself time to do because it takes hours to shave your body and to exfoliate.
Oh my god, don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah. Don't be doing this Thursday night thinking, oh my god, now I have to do this and then put my tan on, then sleep, and then travel. Like, do this with enough time. Like, give yourself the time. Pre-buy everything.
I mean, I have to shave the night before my tan because my hair grows so fast, but I'll give myself at least 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, you think you could shave your whole body in 20, 30 minutes?
Lies.
Yeah, until you're actually doing it, realizing how precise you need to be.
And how thick the hair is. Try shaving your arm right now. Like, tell me how quick that goes.
Yeah, if you
Like-
don't shave your arms. Yeah, for
Yeah,
real.
like I have like regular hair on my arm right now. Like it takes it
Long
fills up
time.
quick. But yeah, I mean just be prepared for all those things. Be prepared to buy all that
the products. Well, also like, you know, the way you book your tan, by the way, is like on the show's site. They should have a link to the official sponsor. But whatever the tanning company that you're gonna go with, go to their website and read all of their instructions.
Yeah.
Like
That's true.
Read all of their instructions. Like, of course, we're gonna give you our take, like what our opinions are, you know, what we do. But at the end of the day, you need to like read their instructions as well. So.
Yeah, I mean they give it to you for a reason. So don't be naive and try to do it your own way because you think you know better.
Your tan can literally be the difference between first call outs and last call outs.
Yeah.
If they can't see your muscles because either your tan is so splotchy or not dark enough, or if you're green instead of tan, you know, it really does make a difference. Like, especially for the bikini division, it's not just about muscles, it's about presentation and it's about an image. And you have to fit the image. So
You do. Sweet. Well, I hope that this helped you guys out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe below, and we will chat next time.
Bye guys.